Right now I'm filming an intro for a video I made about a week ago, and I didn't know whether I wanted to upload it or not, but I decided I'm going to because I think there's a small percentage of viewers that appreciate the honest opinion about the China bikes and my thoughts on them. So a lot of people get mad if I say anything negative about TBR7s or Hawks, and I try to read the comments and answer the questions, but YouTube doesn't always tell me if there's comments. And sometimes that's a problem because I get caught up in the comments and I'll try to explain things to unreasonable people. I just have to remember that you can't get through to everybody and not everybody is going to understand 2 + 2 is 4. I don't have anything to gain from selling these bikes, so the people that are telling you these are great bikes and they give you a little promo code to buy it from a certain place and you'll save 25 bucks. You know their opinion's compromised, right? And you can't believe anything they say? That's how that works. Honestly, it's very easy for me to make a bunch of clickbait videos about these type of bikes. You probably know the ones I'm talking about. When you see a thumbnail and it's like, oh, the cheapest bike on Amazon. I might even make a couple now just because.
People in general do not want their belief systems to be challenged. They want to hear things that pump them up. They don't want to be consistently challenged. What people often do is they use groupthink in order to save themselves mental energy, and then they parrot back the opinions of the herd.
When you're thinking about buying this bike and you go online, of course you want to see a review that says, yeah, it's a great bike, you should buy one. I apologize for the long intro and if I'm starting to ramble, but if you stay till the end, it'll probably all make sense. And then we have a couple other projects we're working on. Today, someone dropped off a string trimmer. I love working on mystery equipment when I have no clue what's wrong with it. So we'll do a little diagnosis and repair on that, see if we can get that running today. So since I'm already having a terrible day, I figured why not make a video that'll just get tons of dislikes and people to unsubscribe from my YouTube channel. That'll be great. So today's video is why do people spend so much on their Chinese dual sports? And the biggest selling point of these bikes is of course the price. That's the only real positive thing I can think of to say about it, other than it's so heavy that, you know, that contributes to anti-theft, it being so heavy. So in my opinion, this bike's not really a dual sport. I went over that in a bunch of videos. It's alright for the street, but... So I keep track of every dollar I've spent on this bike, and we'll just go through it and I'll tell you guys how much I've spent on my dual sport. And then there's the classic, well, if you don't want the cheap Chinese bike, spend 5 times as much and get a name brand bike. And that's just not true. I've went over it so many times, it's getting old. I get sick of saying it. My Yamaha XT225 only cost $1,500. Yes, it's a 1999, but still, it's better than this bike, 100%. So for me, the number of 1,500 is really the cutoff for spending on a Chinese bike. So on my bike, I paid $1,355 for the bike to be shipped here, and that includes the extra shipping insurance, which paid off because I used that. So $1,355 there. I bought the front sprocket for $11. I had to buy the new chain because the original one was too short, and that cost $22. My rear sprocket was $23. I did buy those new rubber chain protectors there, one right here actually. So I spent $14 on those. I do have 2 new extra tubes, front and rear, that I haven't needed yet or haven't used. So I spent $30 on those, which you can count if you want to or not count. It doesn't matter because we're still under $1,500. I added the taillight cutoff. We'll call that $1 because it was just an eBay switch that came in a whole pack. And my Pelican case mount, I spent $12 on the hardware I used for that. So that brings our total to $14.38 if you don't count the extra tubes, and $14.68 if you include the extra tubes. And the only reason I bought those tubes is because I went online, and this is what happens when you go online and read stuff. It's not true. So everyone on this one site was saying that they all have flat tires around 1,000 kilometers or before that, and how the tubes are junk and you have to upgrade the tubes. And most of the stuff on that forum, China Riders, is not true. It's all just bullshit. Just remember, everyone says the best part about this is how cheap it is, and then they go out and spend hundreds of dollars upgrading the exhaust. I see guys wanting to upgrade the forks, and you know, they put the digital speedometer, and guys want to upgrade hubs, and If you upgrade the front end, like completely, if you take a Honda front end and just put the Honda forks and wheel and everything on there, handlebars, and then you take the swing arm, unbolt that, put a Honda swing arm on there with Honda rear wheel, everything, then you're still left with this engine and frame. I don't get it. Why would you do that? Just because you're on a forum and you have, 5,000 posts, 7,000 posts, and you've bought every accessory that you can for your Chinese bike, and you've started swapping parts over to Honda parts, and I'm afraid you lost the plot in buying a cheap bike. I could get on my phone right now. I saw a KLR 650 today. I think it was 2,500. And that's not really far off from what these guys are dumping into Chinese bikes, to be honest. So not everyone's looking for the same things out of a dual sport. You're going to use yours different than I use mine, I'm sure. A lot of people probably don't like the Pelican case on the back, but for me, it really changed the bike and made it usable on the street. I don't take it off-road at all anymore. So I had a couple ideas for an actual big TBR7 adventure, and then I was test driving it on some loose gravel. And my thinking on that is the bike is so top heavy that when you're on gravel and the bottom of the bike, if you're using my hand here, it just scoots over a little bit, like on a little pebble, and then drops to the ground. And your tires may only be scooting over an inch, but it feels like on the top of the bike you're falling off the world. And I've never dropped it on gravel or anything, but it just feels so uneasy because so much weight is up high on this bike. And I don't know, I'm starting to ramble now, but I was just giving my thoughts on the TBR7 on gravel. Overall, I don't regret buying the China bike. It was a fun learning experience, and I'm comfortable with my investment, knowing that I can get $1,500 for this bike, because I haven't damaged it in any way. I keep it very clean. Haven't modified it heavily, haven't changed the exhaust, so someone's going to look at it and be like, oh, nice clean stock bike. Well, I guess that's it for today. Just another video that'll get most of the China riders to dislike me. But if you're one of the people who appreciates my honest opinion about this bike, thanks for watching. But it's pretty clear. You can see where we dropped off from like 30,000 view videos to 30 views. Yeah, obviously something happened there, right? Dropping too many red pills about what's really going on.